Imagine standing on a razor-thin ridge, crumbling rock beneath your feet, knowing that one wrong move could be your last. Now, imagine choosing to be there, over and over again. This is the world of Kilian Jornet, a man who doesn't just flirt with danger, he embraces it. But has he finally gone too far? Picture this: Kilian Jornet, the mountain-running legend from Catalonia, sets out to climb all 82 of the 4,000-meter peaks in the Alps. Not over a lifetime, not over a year, but in just 19 days. Sounds insane, right? Well, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
This project has been amazing. I think one of the more challenging things I have ever done in my life, both for the physical part and the technical part and the mental part of need to be focused 100% for like almost 20 days, which demands a lot of energy.
Kilian isn't your average adventurer. He grew up in the mountains, making the impossible his everyday playground. But even for someone who's summited Everest twice in a week, this new challenge was pushing the envelope. Do I go or do I not go? Kilian asked himself. The stakes were high, manage the risk poorly, and the outcome could be disastrous. The traverse between the Aiguille Verte and Les Droites, two of the most iconic peaks in the Mont Blanc Massif, was harrowing. Imagine navigating a ridge of rotten, unstable rock, without cohesive ice or snow to hold it together. Kilian realized he was exposing himself to extreme danger. Reflecting on this, he says, "It's something I've been turning over in my mind these days, back home in Norway." The terrain was in such poor condition that it made the place highly exposed and dangerous. I decided to go, but now I have to think about whether I did the right thing. Preparation is key in adventures like this, but Kilian doesn't hide the fact that there are many situations you can't foresee. A significant part of planning is being clear about that. In mountains that change as rapidly as the weather, during a 3-week expedition, you're bound to encounter storms, rain, and treacherous glacier conditions like falling rocks. He talks openly about the dangerous situations he faced. In the Mont Blanc area, it was scorching hot, and with the effects of climate change on the permafrost, there were many rockfalls. Especially on the traverse between the Aiguille Verte and Les Droites, which is usually climbed more in winter or spring, there were many moments when I wasn't sure about it at all. It's not that you make a technical mistake, it's that the mountain collapses on you. So, how does someone mentally prepare for a project like this? Kilian says it starts with experience. Being comfortable in uncomfortable situations, not getting stressed. If you find yourself in places where there might be rockfalls or terrain with objective dangers, it's important not to stress out, to stay calm, and continue making small, correct decisions. You have to be calm so that stress doesn't make you make hasty decisions, because, in the end, your life depends on it.
Okay, so I turn back. It's raining a lot, and the spot I need to climb is all wet. 1,000 meters like that, and completely soaked already. It's not safe, I think. I don't think it's safe. It's not very easy climbing, and if it keeps raining like that, that would be it can be very stupid. Some rock falling from the rain probably. So I think I will go down the glacier, get dry, and tomorrow climb from the other side. Hopefully it's a bit more dry. Shit. Well, that's mountains, huh?
But even with all his experience, Kilian admits he's discovered a part of himself he doesn't particularly like. Sometimes I take risks that, consciously, I'm not proud of. There were moments when he had to adapt constantly to the climate or unforeseen events. How did he manage those moments? Did they cause him more tension? Well, there are situations that generate frustration, he admits. The first and somewhat more frustrating is when you arrive at a place, it starts raining, you can't climb, and you have to take a detour that will take you 15 hours. It's not satisfying, but you do it. In the end, you think, well, we're here to do it, to try it, and you have to see it positively. I always say to try to motivate myself that the more kilometers, the more fun. Then there are other situations that are riskier, where you're spending minutes trying to fight for survival. There, you try to be very agile to make the right decision. Do I hide here? Do I go out there? Or do I use this rope technique to avoid danger? At that moment, it's adrenaline that makes you get out, and you don't think about anything else. You're in the moment. There's no future or past. Kilian has said that the mountain teaches patience and the value of waiting for the right moment. What does he mean by that? He explains, many times you have to turn back, although here everything went quite well. There were situations that helped me move forward, but generally, in most cases, when you have ambitious projects, you have to try again. Learn, see what didn't go well, and start over. Even if you have a very clear idea and are trained, many factors can go wrong, and that doesn't mean it's a failure. The mountain is still there. The important thing is to be patient and wait for everything to flow so that it goes well. If we force it too much, we're more likely to stay on the mountain. After such an intense experience, Kilian is candid about the need for reflection. In interviews, he made it clear that he's still unsure whether he risked too much during the traverse. He says, "That day, I didn't know if I would make it out because of the rock falls. Everything was collapsing. When I got to the refuge, I wasn't happy with what I'd experienced. There were many hours where you make small decisions that are the right ones because I'm here today, but everything was really dangerous." He recounts another rockfall while crossing the Brouillard Glacier. "I was lucky there too. Rocks fell for 1 or 2 hours. Now it's time to reflect on whether I could have done something different, if it made sense, if the decision to go to that area was correct or not. I need time to analyze it." Despite the risks and the physical and mental toll, Kilian didn't find his physical or mental limits, nor his metabolic ones, managing to maintain his weight at 54 kilos throughout the challenge. When asked if he could have kept climbing, his response was affirmative but measured. You can always go further, but the point is to get as close as possible to the limit without surpassing it. He believes that in this challenge, he managed the physiological and metabolic aspects better because he felt really good most days and could keep a good pace. In a project like this, you can hold on physically, but it's many days with tension, cognitive and emotional fatigue, and that's complicated. Maybe that's where fatigue is most noticeable. So, how does Kilian make decisions in such high-stakes environments? He explains, those decisions, in the end, come automatically. If you're going to do these kinds of mountains, you need to have a bit of experience in knowing what to do. You don't have to think that everything will go well, but that everything will go wrong. And then you have to ask yourself, will I be able to handle it if it gets dark? If I get lost? If a storm or avalanche comes? Do I have the minimum tools to get out alive or not? That's always the first question. You have to put yourself in the worst situation and think about whether you could get out alive or not. Does the fear come afterward? No, the fear comes before. Before heading out, in the days prior, you put yourself in the worst scenarios before starting to climb. The night before and the day before is when you start thinking about the worst scenarios that can happen and how you'll handle each case. That's when I'm most afraid, because you don't know what will come. Once you're there, you assess the situation, and if a problem arises, the fear isn't there. If you reach the top of the mountain and there's a fearful situation, it's because you know you shouldn't be there because the preparation wasn't correct. Once he descends, it's time to process and think. Kilian emphasizes the importance of analyzing conditions and one's capabilities before and during any activity. He says, "When attempting a goal in the mountains, steep skiing, alpinism, long crossings, I turn around 50% of the time because I feel that I don't yet have the knowledge and capacities to do it and need to progress, or that conditions aren't good that day." He stresses that mountain activities involve a certain amount of risk, and it's crucial to have full knowledge of the probabilities and consequences of each activity. Discussing this with partners and loved ones is essential because the consequences of a possible accident affect not just the individual, but everyone around them. In one of his Instagram posts, Kilian shared a harrowing experience where an avalanche in the Himalayas swept him into a crevasse. "I thought that was it," he admitted. He was lucky to land on a bridge about 10 meters inside the crevasse, and that the avalanche didn't bury him entirely. We can't count on luck when we're going to the mountains, even if sometimes it's just that. So, what's the takeaway from Kilian's incredible yet perilous adventures? Perhaps it's a reminder that pushing boundaries comes with real risks, and even the most experienced can find themselves questioning their decisions. It's about the constant balance between ambition and safety, between the allure of the summit and the realities of the mountain. Kilian Jornet continues to inspire and challenge what's possible in the world of mountain sports. But even he acknowledges the thin line between epic achievement and catastrophe. As he takes time to reflect on his recent exploits, maybe we, too, can learn from his experiences. The importance of preparation, the courage to turn back when necessary, and the value of living fully aware of the risks we take.